How about that there?
We're in the third year.
If you can get that defense going, the defense is going to have to be tremendously better.
Okay, I see what they're doing now. It took me a second to catch on that. I'm a little slow of what that was implying with the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ACC podcast guy, O'Shane.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? What are you doing, you big homer? Tennessee, my cousin over there.
Yeah, I ripped him off of his side, but looking at A&M, like I was saying earlier, I like the fact that they're having to face Arkansas and Texas. And then
Arkansas and Texas. Yeah. Yeah, those are just good. Hey, look, if you like football and you're at least my age, I remember these old teams playing. I mean, I know Jeff does. Jeff's about, he's about 92, 91.
Honestly, if you look at the schedule overall, I mean, South Carolina's kind of been coming back. You don't know exactly what you're going to get from Auburn, but
yeah,
the away schedule is pretty favorable. I mean, I don't know. Flipping to the next one. Got the Crimson Tide on there.
Okay. Let me turn this. Okay. I mean, it don't look much different than It's just you see Oklahoma on there. I mean, that's they get to go to Oklahoma. But other than that, we're supposed to host Auburn anyway. It's time to start playing Missouri again. And Bama and South Carolina, dude, they ain't played since I guess 30, or was it South Carolina? Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, probably so. When's the last time Georgia's went to Tuscaloosa? Man, it's been a long
2011, 12. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's after they won that when they beat Texas. I mean, and just think, Bama and Texas are going to get locked up. And they ain't played since the title game, 2009,
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Let's see here. Razorbacks.
Ooh, Pig Subi.
Interesting.
That's tough. I mean, that's a tough schedule. And they're going to be without Jefferson. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. SEC's not just dribbling and quarterbacks. You notice that?
Yeah, it's been I think we may look at it as being a little better than we thought come the end of the season.
Yeah.
But right now, yeah, I agree. There's just not – it's not the conference of quarterbacks, like it was, I guess.
Well, with having Beck at Georgia and Vandegrift, and Bama's supposed to sign that kid, what's his name, and Georgia got the other guy, I mean, so there's some coming. Okay, Auburn here. I like Auburn going to Missouri. It's kind of new.
Yeah.
I can feel that. They're going to host Arkansas will come in town. It's good. And Vanderbilt hadn't been to Auburn in a while. So they're playing them this year. They're going to Vanderbilt. And Oklahoma coming to Auburn. That's two very old traditional football teams. I like Kentucky. Auburn are going to Kentucky. Can they win? Now this is 8 games.
Yeah.
So there's 4 other games in, right?
Yeah.
So who the heck are they going to be?
And one of them has to be a Power 5 school or a large independent, which is basically Notre Dame.
See, Bama's got Wisconsin. Who Georgia pick up on their little side note deal?
Next year?
Yes, I know. Who are they playing?
Maybe it's Clemson. Is it the Clemson series yet? I don't remember.
I looked at it this past weekend. Yeah, I like that for Auburn. It'd be good coach Freeze. He can win a lot of those games. He can win a lot of those games. Arkansas, the Gators.
Yeah, Georgia will open up in Mercedes-Benz against Clemson next year. Then
Against who now?
Clemson.
Okay.
Then the other 3 games are Tennessee Tech, UMass, and Georgia Tech.
Okay. All right, Bill Napier here. Going to the Swamp. LSU at the Swamp. That's always a good game. Jimbo Fisher's going to ride down. Lane Kiffin at the Swamp. Kentucky, Coach Stoops is going to be at the Swamp. And then they will go to Georgia, Mississippi State Bulldogs, Tennessee, and Texas. Florida Gators at Texas. Wow.
Florida will also host Miami, Samford, UCF, and then they'll be at Doak Campbell for Florida State.
I'm telling you, Cristobal's going to get that thing rolling down there at the Hurricanes. I mean, don't give him too much time. He may be trouble for some of them ACC teams. LSU Tigers, go Tigers. We're going to go around here. We're going to win at home. We're going to go tie Alabama and Ole Miss. We're going to have August all play Oklahoma. What did you just say? Hello?
The only thing you got was go Tigers.
So LSU's going to be at Florida. Well, we just talked about that. South Carolina. Yeah, I mean, that LSU Arkansas games, territorially, recruiting wise, when you're trying to do a home and away with Arkansas and LSU being right there, you're talking about high school kids coming out to the games. That's big. You want to win that game. The home team does. Poor old Vanderbilt. God, man.
Yeah.
They're like, I bet you won't play us in baseball, idiots.
LSU will be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas versus at USC next year. You got USC on the schedule, and they'll host UCLA at Tiger Stadium to go along with South Alabama.
So LSU's opening next year at USC?
September 1st at Allegiant Stadium versus USC.
Wow.
7:30 on ABC.
And that'll be a Big Ten SEC game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
The Bulldogs. I'm curious how they're going to kind of fare weather since Coach Leach been, passed away. God rest the pirate. Because they're going to change the offense. So I'm curious. Okay, Mississippi State host Missouri, Arkansas, Florida A&M. Yeah, they got to go to Tennessee and Texas. That'd be tough, man. And be away at Georgia. Oh my God, they ain't winning probably none of those away games.
I was going to say, look at their away games. That's just
they ain't winning none of them.
It's going to be tough.
They may not win but 2 of them home games. And who they going to open up with? I hope they ain't playing nobody crazy like Notre Dame or.
That's who I was looking up right now.
I hear babies playing in the background.
Yeah, they're in the living room in there. All right, let's see here. Mississippi State. Open up against Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, crap.
At Arizona State.
Yeah, okay.
Then they'll have Utah State and UMass. So that's probably the weakest we've seen so far. And that's just because of those 4 away games there.
Yeah, I fixed that. Well, I'll let them pass, man. You got to go to Tennessee, Texas, and Georgia. Yeah, good luck with that.
Missouri,
home and away. Well, they get Auburn and Oklahoma at home. That may help. They got to go to Bryant Denny and go over to A&M to see revelry at College Station.
I mean, I'm looking at the away games and 1-3 probably, maybe 1-3.
Well, going to South Carolina, I mean, that ain't gonna be fun.
He's got them kind of enthused. If it's anywhere an afternoon or a night game, it'll be ruckus, especially if they've won some games.
Well, now they're supposed to be. They recruited not terrible this year. I mean, they were in the top 60. So,
yeah. As far as their non-conference, they have Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, and that UMass team that's collecting some checks this year, man. That's about the third SEC team that UMass is playing.
Are they trying to build their band, or I don't know what they're trying to?
They're doing something though.
We're building up our swimming team. Ole Miss home. They got the Bulldogs, Mississippi State, Kentucky Wildcats, Oklahoma, and Georgia. And then they go to Arkansas, LSU, South Carolina, Florida. Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin will be struggle away game. I would assume would be the LSU, of course.
Yeah.
And if they play down to Swamp at night, dude, that's just hard to play. And host, they got to host Georgia. That'd be a good atmosphere. You're talking about a good game, like to be at, down at the Grove or the place down there at Ole Miss. My cousin did some construction down there, and he's not a football fan at all. And he said it's just awesome. It's just an awesome atmosphere. He was down there, had to work around that area.
I've heard really good things about it. I've never been though.
That'd be the place to be. I would definitely love to be there while Georgia comes to play.
Non-conference wise, you got Furman, Middle Tennessee, Wake Forest.
No.
Georgia Southern.
No. See, this is what that's what like TriStars is telling me. He's like, well, we got to play 9 games to keep these conference games. I know. Okay, let me ask you this. All right, let's just look at them for example. All right. Next year, middle of the season, when rankings come out and they've been out for a few weeks and we kind of got an idea, how many of them teams on that page are going to be ranked in the top 25? Just be honest. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Maybe
Kentucky's going to be 18 to 25. LSU could be a top 10 team.
Yeah.
South Carolina's if they're in there, they're an 18 to 25 team. OU probably a 12 to 18, and Georgia probably a top 10 team. Should be.
Yeah, I would say Georgia be a top 5 team. OU be in the top 10. Kentucky's not going to be terrible. They're not getting a lot of credit, so they're a top 25 team. LSU is they're a top 10 team, man. He's going to be good over there for a while. They got dudes in state, and they're not leaving the state.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about our little fat buddy over at Arkansas. So that's what I'm saying. That's my point. It don't matter if we're playing 8 or 9. So what if we play 9? When it don't matter because the strength of schedule, you're still playing crappy opponents. It don't matter if they're in-house or not because if your in-house opponents are still not ranked because Mississippi State and South Carolina and Florida ain't been knocking nobody's britches off the past few years. Okay, so as of right now, really only LSU and Georgia are really dude, Oklahoma, how many games they win last year? 4, 5?
Yeah, they lost a lot. They lost a lot, but they lost I know a few of the games, handful was by less than 10.
I know. Oh yeah. But if that don't improve some, it don't matter that the playing 9 don't matter. That's why the up north stuff, and Jeff, I'm not picking on you. That's why their strength of schedule, when you look at it, it's not better. That's why what I'm saying is play the 8, because the whole point of playing 8 was you're supposed to play 2 other Power 5s, like a Penn State or a Nebraska or an Oregon or an out-of-conference Texas. That adds to your strength.
Yeah. Like Georgia's this year versus next year is not even close.
No. About OU, first year in the SEC, they're going to get to host Bama and Tennessee. All right, good luck with that. Then they got to go to Auburn and LSU. Auburn can be 2-8, and you go in there and play them at night,
Yeah.
dude, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Records don't matter. So how good of is this going to be now, player wise, versus probably the Big 12 where they came from. Yeah, there's more athletes over here because naturally the SEC puts out more draft picks. Okay, I can dig that. But if we're just all beating up on each other, then we're not going to be ranked. But if we can, the whole point of the idea was this, wasn't it, to put as many teams as we could in the top 12?
Yeah.
Well, if we just beat up on each other, then we can't get as many teams in the top 12. I don't mind playing the 9. I'm not against it at all, but I'm just saying if you're adding that team, okay, we added a conference game. Well, who are you playing? Missouri? They're not even ranked. So what does it matter if you play 9?
What's the difference between Missouri and Tulane or Temple, which is on Oklahoma's non-conference schedule?
None. By the committee, that's what I'm saying. We got to look at it like they do. By the committee, they ain't none. I mean, they're just looking at wins and losses. And honestly, those teams, like he just said, TriStar's talking about Tulane. They won 12 games last year. So their record's going to look better than Missouri because Missouri only won like 7. So they're not looking at the team or if it's a non-con or not. A lot of times they're just that computer that some of them look at, they just put it in the computer, and the computer gives you wins and losses and percentages of wins. All right, when Georgia plays this team, their opponent and the teams that they played that they're playing, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The schedule of who's the next team on there? We'll see if they got like South Carolina. So they're going to play LSU. Well, who's LSU played? So if LSU's got to use South Carolina to build a gap to show that they're a strong football team, all right, and then we're going to go over here to South Carolina schedule. This is what I do. You do it. We look at their schedule because we're trying to predict. All we're doing is guessing. And so we're trying to predict who's going to win the next game. Well, we take the team that they're going to play, who they've played, and we go back and look at history, look at scores for how much they've allowed and how much they've given up. We try to find the common denominator. So what if you add 9 teams?
Yeah.
You're playing the number 29th ranked team, or if you're playing the 49th ranked team, they're still not ranked in the top 25, and it's not helping your schedule.
South Carolina's non-conference this year is Old Dominion, Akron, Wofford. And
Wofford?
Wofford. And then they have Clemson at the end of the year.
Well, that Clemson's their, Iron Bowl game, the battle of the Tigers and the Roosters. Supposedly South Carolina's supposed to be playing JSU, supposedly.
Oh, really?
It's going to be like in 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Now, that'll be a battle of the
Gamecocks.
Yeah. Okay. You said it nice. I've heard it said other ways, and I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
We try to run a clean, kid-friendly show.
I said Wofford.
I thought that was like a law school where like the guy off Better Call Saul. Thought that's where Saul got his law degree at, Wofford. Tennessee hosting the Gators, the Sabinettes, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and the Wildcats of the Stoops. Then they got to go to Vandy, win, go to Arkansas, win, go to Georgia. I don't know. I'm going to go with the home team on that one. And then they got to go to Oklahoma. With TriStar, he was excited about, them going to Oklahoma. So, okay, let's look at this schedule. Tennessee, who are these ranked teams? Same thing a while ago. If Florida don't pick it up, Mississippi State don't pick it up, Kentucky's been a solid 9-win team. Bama's a solid 9-10-win team. Arkansas is probably going to win 8 games solidly. Georgia's going to be a solid 9-10-win team always. And Oklahoma, I mean, if they're going to get in this conference, bro, they're going to have to win 7 or 8 games. They're not helping. They're not helping the conference, Burge.
I hear you.
Are they? Am I? You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of adding them? If they're not going to help. I mean, if it's not going to help our brand, then
because Texas came and the prestige with Texas. Don't want to get left out.
Okay, Jeff, we're gonna go back and put all the we're breaking one by one here, but yes, we'll go back and do the big one again with all of them.
Tennessee's non-conference games real quick. Chattanooga, NC State,
That's okay.
Kent State,
No,
and UTEP
no. Why? Why?
for a W.
I know, and look, and I've been the one up here hollering all the time about the small schools not being able to get the checks because when they go to this big super conferences, like the Louisiana Monroes are not going to get that $1 million check from Bama, for example, to have a band, for whatever. So,
Yeah.
but they're playing like 3.
Well,
You can't play UTEP and Akron in the same. You can't. That's not right. So Tennessee should play, my opinion. Take them off. Play Memphis. Play Tennessee Tech. Middle Tennessee. Just play the small schools, and then that way you're right in the money. It's all revenue inside your own state.
yeah, that makes sense.
You don't think Memphis wouldn't love to go up there to Neyland Stadium? Well, most of the kids that probably went to Memphis, some of them may not have been able to play at Tennessee, so they had to go to Memphis. It may be a dream come true. So, those Bama games, Bama playing those crap games, dude, stop it. Play UAB. I don't care about the Bear Bryant curse or whatever's going on with Bear Bryant and UAB. I don't care. Auburn, go play Jacksonville State.
I mean, you just
Georgia.
seen what happened to UAB a couple of years ago. I mean, they need you. They need those games.
Yeah, absolutely. Georgia, go play Georgia Tech. Go play Georgia Southern. Write them a check.
Yeah. Texas,
Hmm.
newbie. How many wins you come out of those 8 right there?
Well, they got Georgia, but say they've already played Bama home and away, so that's why they're not on there. So they probably put Vandy instead of Bama. I don't know. See, it's so up in there. I'm not sure where they're at. How bad are they? Getting to host Georgia will help it be in there at Arlington. Or where's it at? It ain't Arlington. That's the Cowboys. Yeah. They should be able to win those away games. You would think they would.
Yeah.
Now, A&M, Jimbo's going to put it together sometime. He's had 2 good
Eventually
recruiting
it's
classes.
gonna click, ain't it?
Well, he's got, what's his name? Colin Petrino, ain't it? Colin's offense.
Yeah.
We got him reinstated. They're waiting on Jeremy Pruitt to get reinstated. So Saban's going to try to bring him back.
I think he tried this time, but
yeah, what's the final outcome on that? What's Pruitt's outcome? See, I just heard they went to court, and I never did really hear like.
I don't think there was an outcome yet.
Yeah.
Texas is non-conference. Colorado State.
Boo.
Michigan at Antelope.
Whoa. Wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Besides the USC from earlier, that's probably one of the biggest non-conference game. That's stepping up. Then you got UTSA, the Roadrunners, and then Louisiana Monroe.
Well, at least they grow the pair and put some hair on it and went stepped up play Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay. I can dig it.
That's a big one. The Dogs.
At Bryant Denny, at Stoops World, at Kiffin World, at Sart World. That's not a terribly easy road travel game there.
No.
And they get to host Florida, Auburn, Mississippi State, and Tennessee. I like they had to add somebody, so they just picked Mississippi State. See, why didn't they get LSU over here? When is Georgia and LSU? Why don't they play? You don't see them play a lot, do you? Is it because is it the Bama thing? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I think it's probably either or.
Well, they got 2 West teams on here. No, 3. Well, 4. Yeah. But well, it ain't gonna matter. I don't know why I see him said that.
Yeah, no more. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, what I want to say is that tiebreaker and what all the tiebreakers are, and us trying to figure that out at the end of the year next year. That's going to be interesting.
Well, yeah, you're just going to be number 1 and 2 in the conference. You just go out there and swing it out. And if Bama and Georgia plays, late in the season, and then they have the Iron Bowl, then they're come away and they're the best 2, teams. But here's what's crazy. Think about this. Now, even more than it's mattered before, but what if the Swamp, the cocktail party, and the Iron Bowl could change the outcome? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, what if Auburn and Florida's knocking on the door?
Yeah,
Bama and Georgia,
East and West, it's just total region, total division.
Right. So what if Bama and Georgia felt like fan favorites, but then Auburn and Florida pull the upset and they wind up? Yeah, because they have the better. It could be Georgia could play Tennessee. They may play 1 week and then play again because they're the best 2 teams in the conference. I'm okay with that. I ain't got nothing against that.
No, I like the best 2 teams because there had been times a few years back where Alabama and LSU were the best 2 teams.
Yep.
But Georgia's not conference next year, by the way. In Atlanta versus Clemson, Tennessee Tech, UMass, the Minutemen. So they're raking the money in.
God, how many teams is that? Is that 5?
That's
they're going to play like we'll just play all the SEC teams. We'll take $1 million a game. That'll put us at $10 million in the season. Now we won't have a football team because they'll all be hurt with crushed legs.
I'm going to pull their 24 calendar up. All right, here we go. Eastern Michigan, Toledo, Buffalo, Miami, Ohio, NIU Huskies, Missouri, Mississippi State, and the Dogs, along with Liberty. So I thought there was one more.
I did too. That's still 4 good games. Liberty's they're not bad.
No. All right, let's see here. Where were we at? Oh, yeah, Georgia Tech at the end of the year.
UK. Okay, Kentucky's going to go to Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas. And they will host South Carolina, Georgia, Vandy, Auburn.
I see here they're missing LSU and Alabama, so it's not a terrible.
Nice, yeah.
Not so terrible. You're getting Ole Miss and Texas, which Texas, we don't really know yet. But you got Auburn, which is kind of rebuilding. I think they'll be fine though, especially by 24. They should be better. Vanderbilt. I don't know. Not a terrible schedule.
Well, they're going to have 2, maybe 3 ranked teams on here, and then Ole Miss is a top 20 team. So yeah. Auburn's going to be a top 20 team. So you got 2 top 20s. Georgia's a top 5. Tennessee's a top 5. Texas a top 10. So, but dodging LSU and Alabama in the same season, that's and you get Vanderbilt and you get the newcomers on the block.
I will tell you this: that probably doesn't set up good for the 25 schedule.
No, because then they're going to have to go to Auburn and Georgia.
And they're probably going to end up with LSU and Alabama. You never know.
And Oklahoma. So they'll get Oklahoma and LSU.
Yeah. So their non-conference is they're actually playing at Akron.
Oh, come on. Zip.
They're playing the Zips at the Zips home field, which is
what?
Wild. Yes. And yes, their stadium in Akron, Ohio is where it's listed at there.
So they're just going to let them probably have the gate.
I guess so. And then Ohio Bobcats, they're going to Ohio a few times.
Okay.
Not too far away, I guess.
No, Ohio Bobcats, they're not terrible.
Yeah. Murray State.
No.
And then November 30th, they have Louisville.
Now Louisville, Dean did a spot on them. They're not going to be too bad, man. They're really not. They've got they got transfers in the right spots at Louisville. Vanderbilt Commodores. Oh God. Bama, Texas, Auburn, LSU,
Tennessee,
and Tennessee. Hello. Is anybody listening? Well, what gimme games they got? South Carolina. Now, if they want to schedule the meat packing department up there at Chattooga or GNC Groceries, I ain't gonna say a word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, their non-conference is a little better than some, worse than others, I guess. Virginia Tech.
It's a good team.
They do have Norfolk State.
Well, that's okay.
SMU,
Yeah.
which is not a terrible team.
Well,
And in Atlanta versus Georgia State.
wow.
Yep.
Well, dude, you play Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, Auburn, and LSU. They might as well just have took off Kentucky and put Georgia on there and just went ahead and lost every game.
They might lose every game besides Norfolk and Georgia State, maybe.
Georgia State ain't slouchy.
No, I agree.
They got some ballers from around those areas there.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's all 16 teams.
Yep.
Is this the screen that our man wanted back up?
Oh, the big one.
Yeah.
Vandy might beat Missouri. I guess. All right, Jeff, there it is. That's the whole shoot match. Man, that's a lot to.
He says, beware of GSU Panthers. AU knows.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as the Vandy might beat Missouri, man, Missouri is a weird place to play on the road.
Well, they give Georgia.
Georgia never plays good at Missouri.
They almost beat them last year. They give them a fight.
Last 2 times they went to Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to. I don't know if you remember Jacob Eason. He had to lead them back late years ago before he transferred to
Eason. Oh yeah.
Washington.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at all of them, just kind of give a rough glance to think who's just besides Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's got the toughest schedule. I think.
Besides them, who's just sucking eggs over here?
I mean,
Auburn is. I mean, they got to play Bama and Georgia, and they're both away.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. Where's Texas? Okay, Texas.
It's not terrible.
Ain't bad.
Not terrible.
Oklahoma's got Bama and LSU, and see, Texas don't. Texas don't have. All they got is Georgia. So, welcome newcomers to the league. Texas is probably walking around the room over there, sitting in the corner, having a drink of punch, talking to a lady. Oklahoma's over there, kicking the wall, mad. He's like, "What? I got to play. I got to go to LSU. I got to go to Auburn, and then you're going to make me host Alabama and Tennessee? How did Texas? Is it because Sark and Saban was buddies? I got crapped on." Of the 2 coming in, Oklahoma definitely, you would agree, they got the run in the stick.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Gosh, man, you got to go to LSU, Auburn, and Ole Miss ain't no poke around. I mean, they're a solid 8-win program usually, and they're going to open. Well, not open, but they're going to play. Of course, they're going to play each other. Texas. So, but they got to go to Bama and Tennessee. And hey, look, I've said this before, and I'll say it one more time. Any to where you see, let's go over here and look at South Carolina right there in the middle on the bottom. You see all them games that are black? Any of those teams can lose. They ain't hardly nowhere, and I don't know why they don't get talked about as much. if anybody watched college football, you watch South Carolina before they kick that game off and they hit that sandstorm music. That place is rocking.
Yep. That's
I
what
mean,
I said. If you're there at night, look out because they get the momentum that it can be loud.
Dude, I mean, they get slinging them towels and they start playing that music, that sandstorm, and they go to flickering them lights. People get drunk and get dizzy, start passing out on the field, lights flickering.
I was looking at Florida's schedule. It's pretty tough as well.
Let me look close here. Florida. The Gators. Okay. All right. The games in red are their away. So Florida's going to, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Texas. That's going to be a handful for kind of a new coach.
Depending on how Florida plays, they could easily go 1-7.
Who's their non-con?
Let's see here, Florida.
Right now, I'm sticking with Auburn and Oklahoma. They're standing over in the corner, just like they're taking their little card and shredding it into little pieces and throwing it in the air and kicking somebody. They just kicked the teacher in the shin. They're that kid right now.
Remember, Florida has Samford, UCF, Miami, and Florida State.
That'd be okay. Florida State's going to play them because they're getting better. I mean, we've covered them twice.
Yeah.
We've been holding off on the SEC coverage teams. So we've been doing Big 10, Big 12 teams, and Pac-12. We broke all them teams because now, with this coming out, we was trying to wait till I wanted to wait another week or two, and then we're going to start doing SEC teams every week. So now with this out, LSU is going to Arkansas. That's not bad, man. Their tough games are at home. They got Alabama and Oklahoma at home. LSU's fine. They're going to be good. I mean, they're not going anywhere. That's a favorable schedule for next year. I look for them to win same this year. They'll win 8 games. There's 9 games.
Josh Pake that runs the Lake.
Yes.
He posted on there 6 minutes ago. Surprised Arkansas not getting a top rope elbow from the league office on this schedule release. Shocking.
Well, they got LSU, Tennessee, Texas at home. That's not too good. And they got to go to Auburn.
But compared to what they've been having.
Oh, yeah, it has been bad. What was the year before last?
Oh, man, it was tough.
It was terrible. It wasn't last year. It was the one before, I think. Yeah, it was terrible. Well, I just looked up, when you was coming on, I was trying to kill some time. So I was just looking at news, the toughest schedules in the conference, and they said Ole Miss. So I went over and looked at their schedule for this year. I don't see it. I don't know what they're talking about. Toughest schedules in the nation? I don't know. I looked through it, and they're kind of hard. They're back end heavy, but I didn't see. And on this one for 24, Ole Miss has got Georgia and Oklahoma at home. They only got to travel to LSU. And like I've said, going to Florida is always going to be – Florida's like LSU at night, man. You don't know what you're going to get down there. Those fans are wild, and, it can be a big atmosphere. Hang on a second. Okay. What'd you find out about Florida? Ole Miss. We was looking at Ole Miss. They said they had a tough schedule. I don't see them. I didn't see that.
I'm looking right here at these numbers here from says 2023 college football strength of schedule win-loss method. So basically, the wins and losses are the teams that you're playing on your schedule. South Carolina is listed at number 1 strength of schedule with 103 wins and 53 losses. These are Phil Steele's numbers here. Just looking at their schedule: Georgia State, Arkansas, Georgia, Charlotte, South Carolina State, Kentucky, Texas A&M, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Florida, Tennessee, Clemson. No, that was last year. I was going to say, that doesn't make no sense. 2023. I'm looking at it now. North Carolina, Furman, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, A&M, Jacksonville State,
Right.
Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Clemson.
Whose is that now?
The 2023 South Carolina schedule.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Battle of the Gamecocks. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's at
Williams-Brice, it says.
Yeah. So I wish it's down here. They ain't gonna come down here and play. That don't sound terrible. Ole Miss starts with Mercer, and then they go to Tulane. Then they got Georgia Tech. September 23rd, Ole Miss has got Alabama. Then the 30th, they got LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Vandy, easy game, Halloween weekend. They start November with A&M, Georgia, and then the Warhawks, Louisiana. Then they finish, of course, with Mississippi State Egg Bowl. What's terrible about Mercer?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Mercer, Tulane, Georgia Tech. Hey, they got Alabama, Ole Miss, and Arkansas and Auburn back to back to back. Maybe that's what it is. They got a 4-week run there from September 23rd till October 21st. They got a heck of a run, but then they got Georgia the 11th. So I guess.
I was looking at that Ohio State schedule for this year.
Yeah, I hadn't. Jeff, what do y'all? Who y'all playing non-conference? I'm playing Petticoat Junction and.
Let's see here, 2023. They have Youngstown State.
No.
Western Kentucky.
No.
Maryland.
No.
And that's a division game. Indiana, is that a division game?
Yes.
Notre Dame. They have Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
That's their out of division then, out of conference game.
Yeah. Looking at the current ranking, Notre Dame is ranked 13th. Penn State is 8. Wisconsin is 25. I don't know where these rankings come from. Michigan is.
What? How can they have rankings?
I don't know. It says at 2 Michigan Wolverines. I don't know.